Hi everybody, this is Derek from ShoeboxReptiles, and I thought it'd be kind of cool to take a video to show you some of the different kinds of knobtail geckos or Nephrurus. Sometimes it's nicer to see things in a video rather than a picture. So here goes. I'm going to start off with my favorite, which is the smooth knobtail gecko, Nephrurus levis. Every animal in this video will be around a year old or less, so kind of subadult size. So here's a red female. She's really cool. She never really gets too dark, and hopefully she'll be breeding for me next year. Next up is one of my breeder males, and I really like this guy because he has a good body structure, nice fat tail, no bulging eyes, nothing out of the ordinary, but I like them with fat tails, and that's what an adult Levis looks like. I'm actually going to put him back in a container so he doesn't breed that young female. And next I just wanted to show you what a Levis with a regenerated tail looks like. All the smooth knobtails can lose their tails, but they never grow back normal. So this one's kind of small and flat, kind of shovel shaped, but still cool. She lost her tail as a baby and I held her back as a breeder. Next up is a really cool male Pilbarensis. He's a little dark right now, probably because he's a little stressed out, but I really like this guy. He has lots of spots all over his body, some white marking on his back, pretty good sized tail. At nighttime, he's bright pink. Right now he's a little stressed, and again, nice fat tail. Next up is a patternless albino Pilbarensis. This guy has been breeding pretty well for me this year, so hopefully I'll make more of him, and some regular albino Pilbarensis, and some hets. So here he is. And this is a pretty well lit room. He's not looking down, he's walking around just fine, he feeds fine. I've never had to assist feed any of my albinos. He's a cool looking guy. He's a little bit over a year old, and he bred for the first time this year. Next up is a yearling patternless, just patternless Pilbarensis. Again, nice fat tail. Some of them have a really distinct line down the back, kind of like a white line. This one doesn't, but she's still really cool looking. At night she's bright pink. Right now she's kind of in her dark mode, how lots of Nephrurus get. And now we have a Nephrurus Delaney. This guy's usually orange. Not much pattern on him, which makes him different. Some of them have a nice white stripe down the back. Some have 2 or 3 squiggly lines, or a combination of the mottled pattern and striped. This guy's just kind of, not patternless, but kind of lacking a lot of pattern. Cool looking. Their tails are kind of in between Levis and Levissimus. They do get a little fatter than this guy, but he's been breeding for me. He's not too happy right now, so I'm going to put him back. And here we have a male Levissimus. Oops. These are the most kind of spastic of the Nephrurus or knobtail geckos. They kind of just run around, they go crazy for food. They're also the smallest. They can range in color from this kind of orangish to kind of a translucent pink. I've had somebody refer to them when they saw them at my house, looking like sashimi, like a sushi. This guy's more of an orange color. He's about 4 years old. So they do darken up a little bit with age, but some of the pink ones, oops, sorry buddy, stay pretty pink. This guy just happens to be more orangish. Next up is a female, not yearling, almost year old, starred knobtail, and she is one of the lighter varieties. This one's really light at night with yellow dots. Some of them are more purpley with more scattered pattern or even thicker dots. I have a male with more black down the back, so they vary a bit, but they kind of look see-through too, like you can almost see the skull right there. She's probably 2/3 grown, so they do get pretty sizable. I mean, even next to a pilbarensis, which is one of the smaller of the Levis complex, you can see they match up pretty well. Next up is a broken banded or reduced patterned Wheelerized Cinctus, one of the rough knobtails. This one's probably about 2/3 grown. Usually, like a normal one has pattern, like a band there, band, 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 band. But through selective breeding, you get this broken up pattern where some of them are missing bands, multiple bands, or have kind of like little slits through all the bands. So they're pretty variable. They do change color day and night, so she's kind of in her light phase right now. Some are orangish, some are reddish. This one just kind of looks a little pinkish right now, but they do change color. Most knobtails do. Even amii, from day to night, they kind of look a little different. Come on, let's get in the picture over here, buddy. There we go. You too. Actually, you can hang out with your cousins too. Next, I wanted to show you guys a Wheelereye with a regenerated tail. This guy's been a good breeder for me. He's looking a little old or worn out, just because he's been breeding. But again, when they regenerate their tail, it just kind of looks like a little nub or a popsicle. He has some of that broken banded pattern. He's a little dark right now, but like I said, he sometimes looks like her. So they just change color. Next up is a Nephrurus asper. He's almost adult size. They still stay pretty dark. There's gray forms, banded forms. They have really cool, you can't see it in this video, but really cool purple eyes. They're not as spiny as an amii, which I'll show you next. But they're pretty cool. So far, for me at least, they've been a little bit harder to reproduce. But when you finally do produce one, it's a great day. And he's actually not acting too nervous. They seem a little bit skittish, but amii do too. But here he is next to a, near adult sized female pilbarensis. So there's a size comparison for you there. Next up is a really light colored amii female. This one is actually as dark as she gets. Sometimes she turns kind of like a salmon pinky color, but the head always stays kind of orangish. She doesn't have that much of the webbing or the black pattern on the head, neck, or back. Like I said before, the legs are a little spikier than the asper, and they do get quite a bit bigger. This one's got a lot of growing to do, so hopefully she'll breed for me in 2016, which sounds like forever, but time flies with reptiles. Come on guys, don't be shy. Come on over. Come on over. You too, buddy. Alrighty. Last but not least, a larger male amii. You can see as they get older, They become much more spiny in the back legs, the back, the tail, even the sides. This guy is really bright orange. I don't know if it'll show up that way in the picture, the video. And I'll try to grab the Asper if he'll cooperate. So there's a little size and color comparison. And the Amii is not full grown. The Asper just about is. They'll both get a little bit bigger. The Amii probably about 25%, and this guy maybe just a tiny bit. So there's a size difference, obviously the color difference. Amii much more spiky, a lot more pattern, although this Amii doesn't have much pattern. This is kind of like a couple lines down the back. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is my first one, just taken with my iPhone. I'm not going to adjust anything, just upload it to YouTube and post it on Facebook. I hope everybody has a great breeding season. I guess this female's a little freaked out. She hasn't moved at all. So there's a patternless pilbarensis again. Put her back. Put the stellatus back. Come on. There she is again, about 2/3 grown. Oops. Kind of changing a little color than before when I showed you in the video. My favorite female Levis from 2013. Really red, good structure everywhere, doesn't darken up. I wish her pattern was more stripy, but it's kind of cool that it's broken up and fills up most of her back. And the last one is Wheeler-Eye female. Great species to start with, really hardy, really reproductive. Females can lay 4, 5, 6 clutches for many years. In fact, my oldest female is probably 9, 10 years old and still giving me 4 or 5 clutches a year. Same with Levis. I had one that actually passed away this year, but she was breeding for me since 2002, giving me about 5 to 6 good clutches. So if kept right and raised in good environment, they can live a long time. Thanks for looking, everybody. Good night.